read it. Let's solve it quickly. I will hope so. You have done some part. So just look here, please. Just leave if you are still solving. So just look. Overall, in this system, two streams are getting in and one is leaving. So this is boiler in which two water streams enter and one steam saturated streams leave from this system. So I have just marked there, I mean, like for one stream, flow rate, temperature, as well as enthalpy, which was given in the question. As well for the second stream, flow rate, enthalpy, and temperature. These were given. For outlet stream, flow rate was not mentioned, but he said that water comes into the boiler and steam is produced. And then there was pressure for this given, and at that pressure that he said it is saturated steam, so enthalpy is also provided. The another information which was available, that was dia of pipe through which this steam is just emerging or leaving from the boiler. So this is all about given information, and what he asked us to calculate the amount of heat not released, amount of heat entering to the boiler or provided to the boiler. That is mean you have to do work on this system, which is your boiler. So kinetic energy of inlet stream was also, he said, that is equal to 0. By the way, I wrote here change in potential energy 0. Is it okay or not? What do you say? What about change in potential energy? So why I didn't yeah, because there is no change in height. He didn't mention something related to this, so change in potential energy is 0. Good. So what about shaft work? Is there any shaft work involved here?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, in the boilers, they are the simple equipment, I mean, in which you just bring the water and boil it and that leaves. So in boiler, there is no rotating part like as in the turbine or pump, so no shaft work. So due to this reason, I have mentioned here shaft work is equal to 0, although these two information were not available in the question, but based on the understanding of this system, by looking at the diagram of the system, I have mentioned these will be 0. So overall, you can just write the general equation for energy balance, as I told you, that change in the enthalpy plus change in kinetic plus change in potential energy is equal to heat plus work in the form of shaft work. So as already mentioned here, shaft work as well as potential energy change both are 0. So we will just take as like change in kinetic, potential, and Q. And out of this, even you know that there is, as he said, change in for change in kinetic energy, this is equal to kinetic energy of output streams minus input streams. As already mentioned that for input streams, kinetic energy you have to ignore, so you can just take it like it will be kinetic energy of output streams. But overall, when you look at this, what you have to find is Q. This you are supposed to calculate, so it's mean there are two terms which you have to evaluate to solve this problem, and they are simple, like you have to find change in the enthalpy of these contents which are getting in as well as
Excuse
out
me,
of the
sir.
system. जी
सर वेलोसिटी तो उसने हमें नहीं दी हुई, फिर हम क्यों फाइंड कर रहे हैं
हाँ,
काइनेटिक
वेलोसिटी
एनर्जी?
उसने नहीं दी हुई, बट एक चीज यहाँ पे he didn't provide the velocity, but also at the same time he didn't mention something, you have to ignore it. We can find it, but actually the reason velocity he has provided indirectly somehow, because he mentioned or he has provided us the diameter of pipe. So that's some indication that why he is providing us diameter of the pipe is indication for this, that you can calculate here the inner velocity at the output stream. Okay, for inlet streams he didn't mention anything like this, so we can't, at least we should have some information, based on that we can calculate the kinetic energy. In the question statement also he mentioned that ignore the kinetic energy of inlet streams, but nothing is mentioned like you have to ignore the kinetic energy of output streams. By the way, you can even write change in potential energy, but there is no height change, so you will write h1 and h2 are equal, so that is equal to 0, right? Hope you understand. Clear or not?
सर काइनेटिक एनर्जी ऑफ इनलेट की समझ नहीं आई कि 0 क्यों है।
सर समझ नहीं आ रही इसकी।
Okay, just let me go and I will come back to this point later on if still it will not be clear. Okay, by the end of this, let me start with the first one. I will come back to this point again when I calculate this, but still if not will be clear, I will explain it again later. So change in enthalpy, so enthalpy or enthalpy of output streams minus enthalpy of input streams. This you already know that what does change is for any property output minus input. So here is only one output stream. It's mean enthalpy of output stream, which is like this. Your stream minus input were two streams. They are the water streams. So I can write it as like in the form of mass, because you know that's in the question specific enthalpy is given as well as you have mass flow rate. So you can just convert this from enthalpy to the specific enthalpy. So this equation can be modified because guys, you know, you don't have here h dot. So how you can find h dot? You have to write it equal to h is equal to m h cap, and because this is h dot, so on the other side you also need flow rate simply. So I will replace all h dot with this equation or the other condition in which I can evaluate this. So this simple enthalpy is equal to specific enthalpy multiplied by mass, because this is per unit time, so it will be mass flow rate already given to you. So because all these values I think are available in the question if you look at the data. I think we have this flow rate as well as flow rate for other stream, as well flow rates for output streams, and enthalpies are also there. So just put the data here and just do this simple mathematics. You will get the answer. There is nothing difficult. Mass multiplied by specific enthalpy as well mass. You have to multiply mass flow rate with the enthalpy, and this is done. Okay. Now the second part which you have to find is kinetic energy. So what will be formula first of all for this change in kinetic energy? Change in kinetic energy. What will be the formula?
Sir, u2 square minus 0/2.
No. Just tell me something. It is kinetic energy of output streams minus kinetic. And I'm just talking about general statement. Like for example, I wrote here for del H. So it will be kinetic energy of output streams minus kinetic energy of input streams. So for finding kinetic energy, what is the formula which you are just telling me that it is like 1/2 mv square minus same thing for the other streams. So overall you can write your formula as a kinetic energy is equal to just simple like kinetic energy of outlet stream, which is kinetic energy of third stream minus kinetic energy of first and second stream. Agree with this guys? Who were already confused about this, just come with me here. So I just ignore this zero at the moment. Just think like complete formula is given. So for that formula will be 1/2 mv3 square minus 1/2 m1 v1 square minus 1/2 m2 v2 square. Do you agree with this? This is the general formula.
Yes.
So
Yes,
now
sir.
let's jump one step forward. Now you have to find the kinetic energies. So in order to find these kinetic energies, how you can proceed? This is the formula in which you need velocity as well as mass. Mass are given I think for all three streams. Do you have mass for all three streams?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So mass are available. Next thing left over is velocity of all these three streams. Agree?
Sir, yes, sir.
So now it's mean if we have to come, by the way, all those, if you are getting confused, I'm just at the moment because these guys said if we are also, we have to include inlet kinetic energies. I'm going to tell you that one. Due to this, I'm including all three energies here. So in order to find those velocities, so you need some other data. Agree? Are the velocities
Yes.
available? Are the velocities available?
No,
No,
sir.
but at least we have, okay, we know already another formula for that, because if you look at the given data, you can use another formula based on given data. Even as per our available data, we can use another formula, and which was like you already studied somewhere in Styco 1 as well as I think definitely in fluid flow, that volumetric flow rate is equal to velocity into area. Did you know this formula?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it's mean
सर कंटिन्यूटी इक्वेशन नहीं यूज कर सकते, मतलब
yes,
mass flow
that's
rate
the
is
same
equals to
thing.
density.
So that same thing you can use that, no issue. So actually, the problem is I don't have the densities at the moment, and I don't want to go in that stuff all a lot because I want to just solve it based on the given conditions. Maybe you can go with that. You will need other data. Actually, I'm saying based on the given data. I'm looking for some easy equation. Otherwise, there will be many ways to do those things. Yes, right, you are right. So this is volumetric flow rate, is that modified form of somehow the same equation which you are talking about. So that's velocity into the area. So here I can find velocity if I have volumetric flow rate. Now the problem is, do I have volumetric flow rate here? You don't
Yes,
have,
sir.
but guys, you know you have here mass flow rate, not volumetric flow rate. But in the question statement at the same time, you have also the specific velocity or the density. So actually, as who was talking, Miss Huda, the same thing. As I said, this is somehow the modified form of the same equation, continuity equation, which we are talking about here. So that's mass flow rate over the density. So instead of density, it means you will need the density. Instead of density, we have specific volume. So do we have this for all properties? At least, okay, guys. For one, you can say yes, we can have, because you already know, I think, about steam table. So if you go to the steam table, you can easily find volume, specific volume for these water streams as well as for steam streams. And for steam stream, it was given in the question, so I can quickly find the this thing, which is volumetric flow rate, can be easily found for any of these streams. But for outlet streams, it was already given, so just find it, no problem. This can be easily found, volumetric flow rate. Up to here, if you have any concern or question. Up to here, volumetric flow rate, I think this is pretty straightforward. Mass flow rate per density, and instead of density, you can use specific volume, which you can easily get from the steam table. So that we have done here. Next is to find area. So do we have any information about calculating the flow area of inlet streams?
Yes sir, diameter से हम radius निकालेंगे.
I'm asking, do you have any
Diameter.
information diameter for inlet streams? Listen to me, please. For inlet
No,
streams,
sir.
you don't have. So when you don't have that information, it's mean you can't calculate then this stuff, which is called velocity. And also he didn't provide the velocity for inlet streams, so you can ignore this value. For example, if I just modify this question for you and I give you the diameter of both inlet streams, that inlet stream water is passing through this dia pipe and outlet is passing through this dia pipe, then I will just delete the last line, ignore the kinetic energy of inlet streams. Understand this now? Hope it's clear to you. So in this question, actually enough information is not there, and when he didn't provide that enough information, due to this reason, he just asked you to ignore that kinetic energy, because this is just the way, only way from which you can here calculate velocity. Otherwise, there is no other way to find the velocity. I don't think so, as per given information in this question. The only way with which you can proceed is at least you should have the diameter of the pipe. So when you have diameter of the pipe, then it is very easy to calculate, as we are just doing it here. So when you look at V1 and V2, you can't calculate them, and same he said in the question that just ignore those velocities, no need to calculate those. Yes, for outlet we will calculate, because we have some diameter which is like here 6 centimeter, and for this radius, you know that for pipe area is like pi r square. So when you have this diameter, you can find the radius and can calculate it. So area was also calculated, and you can just quickly use this to find the velocity now, because you have area as well as this volumetric flow rate. So just put them in the equation and calculate the velocity. So velocity is flow rate per unit area, and I have done here, it is 202.5 meter per second for output stream. So later when you go back to the delta KE, because you have just have for output stream this value, so you just put it here, mass flow rate of output stream and velocity, which you just calculated, put them in the equation, just do some unit conversion. So flow rate was 295 kg per minute, and this was 202.5 meter per second square. I will just do this calculation, and finally I found that this is kilojoule per minute, and I will put it in the formula finally and will calculate Q. So just a minute, again I'm receiving the call. स्टिल क्लास चल रही है? Guys, clear to you, please? Those two
Yes, sir.
students who were concerned about velocity, kindly, are you clear now about kinetic energy, or still if any confusion, I will try to explain it another way maybe.
No,
But
sir, हो
in
गया.
this question, at least the thing is, important thing is, like, you are given some data, and actually maybe definitely you can do this calculation if you have some more information. But as per given data, that's not easy to calculate those values which we are just ignoring here. Mean for kinetic energy, as I said, if I just modify this question and I put the data, for example, for inlet stream 1, for example, pipe diameter is 3 centimeter, for outlet stream, both inlet stream pipes have 3 centimeter diameter, I tell you here. Now I think you can easily calculate the value of this velocity, so then we will not definitely ignore it. Okay. So actually, one thing I can tell you here, the thing he wanna tell, like, there is not much change in the kinetic energy. So I mean, only due to this we are just calculating for outlet stream. For inlet streams, the kinetic energy value may be very small as compared to this value. So based on that, maybe he has ignored our. That's one possible case. Okay. So just calculate it based on the given information.
सर
जी
सर
जी
ये जो आपने वॉल्यूमेट्रिक फ्लो रेट का बताया कि वो आप ऐसे फाइंड आउट करेंगे मास फ्लो रेट इनटू स्पेसिफिक वॉल्यूम सर तो हमें उसके लिए तो स्टीम टेबल्स आपने कहा ना उसके लिए चाहिए तो हम स्टीम टेबल इसके लिए भी कंपलसरी होंगे मतलब कि उसको जो इस्तेमाल करना
Yeah, definitely. I'm just gonna talk about it in next few minutes. That how to read. I think already you guys know somehow, but I will just show you how you can read this. And you should be able to find specific volumes from steam table. At least I think already you are using the thermodynamics as well as here you need. My next point was the same. Like here in this question, guys, you can see specific enthalpies are given. But if suppose they were not provided here, can you find them from somewhere?
yes sir steam table
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good. From steam table, even if this specific volume, although in this question it was mentioned, but suppose it was not provided. So you can find all this information like specific internal energy, specific enthalpy, as well as specific volume. These are provided in the steam table. So you can find those. So
सर तो हम इस तरह नहीं इस क्वेश्चन में तो स्पेसिफिक वॉल्यूम गिवन है ना तो हम इस तरह नहीं कर सकते कि डेंसिटी ऑफ वाटर का इस्तेमाल कर लें क्योंकि वो अप्रोक्सीमेटली सेम ही रहती है
but the thing, Jawad, here, yes, you are right, we can use density of water, but this is not water, this is steam, which is at high pressure. And you know that when water changes from liquid to the vapor, I think you have studied this recently in thermodynamics, definitely, that their properties change a lot. You can't use that simple density value. Yes, if you want to use it for the water streams, inlet stream, that's somehow okay. Mean there is not much change in the density of water from 1 to the 100 at 180 atm pressure. But if you just change these pressure temperatures, there is a huge change. And that not the general value is not valid. Okay, general value which you are talking about, actually the 1000. If suppose you are saying this value was not given, can I use 1000? I will say no. For this condition here, for outlet stream, which we are using this 1166 for calculating specific volume, this is for outlet stream, this is steam. For this, if you will use general value of water density 1000, that will be wrong. Ji.
ओके सर
सर अगर हमें स्टीम की डेंसिटी चाहिए तो फिर हम वो रेसिप्रोकल ले लेंगे ना स्पेसिफिक वॉल्यूम का
Yeah,
जो दिया हुआ है।
simply, yes, madam, definitely it is reciprocal. So actually, I just modified the formula. I think there is no need to worry. You guys know that instead of density, just if you write it simply, mv dot, instead of taking it like reciprocal in one step and using it in the next step, suppose somewhere just report density, then you should take reciprocal. Otherwise, in such kind of questions, for example, where here I'm using, I can directly use it, and we kept instead of in one step I take the like reciprocal, then I find the density, then I say no, I just have to use density, so I will calculate the density. You are right. Yes, if you need to report somewhere density, report that, definitely you should take the reciprocal, otherwise directly use it. No need to worry. Your equation is modified as mass flow rate over density. I can write it as a mass flow rate into specific volume. वही सेम चीज कर रहा हूँ ना, रेसिप्रोकल को ही यहाँ मल्टीप्लाई कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है.
ओके सर।
Yeah. Anything else? So guys, one thing here, I have quickly, definitely not that quickly, but I have explained to you these questions, but it is necessary to solve these problems. You should solve them because time is short here. I don't want to just put you on one question and wait for 1 hour that you guys will solve and then I will jump to next slide. So I'm not doing like that. So kindly later on after this class, you guys mostly have 1 week, then we have class on next week. Most of them same is going on. So please solve these problems because they are necessary, as well as not these problems only. When you are done, you understand the concept, then try to solve other problems also. I also guided you last time that from where you can get the problems. Okay, I hope you guys are solving it because later on at the end of the day, I think, hope so, madam will ask me that just put one question from the things that you have just taught. So definitely you will have one question from this chapter. So kindly study this if you are not studying till now. Guys, as I was just telling you, okay, in this question, I think this is the last part of the lecture. We will quickly go through this in like this 10 to 15 minutes. So in this question, as I was just telling you, in this question as well as in the previous question, you guys are already provided with these values of enthalpy as well as specific volume. But if they are not provided, how to find? But before that, you can find from steam table already, you know. But before I jump directly to the steam table, I want to just quickly refresh your knowledge. What is latent heat? You know that's the heat change, enthalpy change involved during phase transition. So when phase change takes place, you know that temperature did not change for pure components at constant pressure. Okay. So sensible heat, enthalpy change that involved during phase change, we have already studied somewhere something called heat of vaporization. So it is enthalpy change or amount of heat involved for the phase transition from liquid to the vapor. Vaporization, just look at this word. So it's mean amount of heat needed to vaporize something from liquid to the vapor. And then heat of condensation. So enthalpy change for the phase transition of the vapor to the liquid. Just reverse this process. Condensation is to convert something from vapor to the liquid. So it is equal to they are actually equal heat of vaporization and heat of condensation for one same component. For example, if it is water and its vaporization takes place at 100, so if I just reverse this process, I condensate those water vapor to the liquid at 100. So that's heat. In the condensation, actually we remove the heat. In vaporization, we provide the heat. So they are just reverse of each other in terms of sign. One is positive, one is negative. You are taking something heat out of the system, so that's negative. Okay, and when you are adding heat to the system, you already studied that thus we take it as a positive. And then at the end of the day here, when we have to produce the steam, we use boiler. So boiler is a piece of equipment in the industries it is used to produce steam. So most of the time to produce steam, definitely you will need heat. So that heat in the industries, that is provided by burning some fuel. But we have here one boiler in the lab. When you come back here for in thermodynamics lab, you will see that there we are providing heat with the help of simple electricity. We are using electricity heaters, and by in lab scale equipment, it is easy to provide on small scale by heat by electricity, but in industries on large scale, this heat is provided by burning the fuel. So did you see this equipment in your house? Something, what is this? Simple kettle in which what we do, we usually boil the water. So that's just small example of boiler, you can say, and some people even call it boiler even at the home, small kettle. In this, what we do, we usually boil the water. Maybe sometimes you just heat the water, you don't boil. So if I just take this equipment, enlarge it in the size, so it can become boiler. In this, we provide heat with the help of electricity. You know that if we just increase the size of vessel, by the way, don't get confused about the many terminologies or many names here in this diagram. This is just to show you, to give you the idea that this boiler is a large scale equipment and in which there is a water storage, and you just provide the heat to produce the steam. Later on, when we will discuss this equipment in the lab, inshallah, and we'll talk about its parts. So just to give you the idea that boiler, simple like kettle, it is a large scale equipment. So there are few terminologies here I want to clarify before I jump to the steam table. So suppose pressure is 1 atm and I have a mean like water, and that is in the solid form, that is at 0 degrees C. So that we call it as a ice. You know that it is in the solid phase, and later on when you provide it heat, you start like heating it up, so you will reach to the condition where it will get, first of all, this ice cube will melt and it will be converted from solid to the liquid. And if you keep on keep on heating, so you reach to a condition where its temperature will reach to the 100, then there will be no further increase in temperature, and at that temperature like this will start boiling. Here some vapor will just come out of this system. So this is all about just general stuff which you know, that ice available at 1 atm for water at 0 degrees C. Later on, if I increase temperature above this, it is converted to the liquid phase, and then you can reach to the some stage which we call it as a vapor phase. So we, based on this, classify these fluids into 3 categories which we call it like the subcooled liquid. What is subcooled liquid? Did you guys come across this terminology already or not? Subcooled liquid. Hello, Miss Uda. At least you are awake and you know things. So did you read? Did you study this?
Yes sir, yes sir. Super cooled, subcooled, saturated, हमने चीजें
No.
पढ़ी
Okay.
हैं.
Just tell me what is subcooled liquid. Did you study this? Did you know what is the definition of subcooled liquid? Okay. Look, I think you guys didn't study. So just look. The liquid which is available at the temperature and pressure lower than its saturation temperature and pressure, or I should say the liquid which is available at conditions lower than the saturation condition. So what are saturation conditions here in this case of water? Saturation condition are those conditions at which light phase change takes place. For example, here phase change from, I will say, from liquid to the vapor. Because when you reach to this condition of the saturation, which we call boiling here, saturation is actually any condition where there is a phase change. So phase change here, which we are talking about, is from liquid to the vapor. So when it will be converted from liquid to the vapor, so what are my conditions that for this water at 1 atm, it should boil at which temperature?
100 centigrade.
100 degrees C. So if water is available at the temperature less than 100 degrees C, and if my surrounding pressure is 1 atm, then we call it subcooled liquid. So now guys, water boils at 100 even if it is available at 99. So it is subcooled or not? Tell me, it is subcooled or not? What about 99? At least tell me something, please speak.
Subcooled?
सर ये सबकूल्ड होगा
Yes,
99 and
even
180.
yes, good. It will be subcooled any temperature below 100. Like even if it is 99.5, 99.9, below 100, and if it is 1 atm, because you guys know that it boils at 100 for when there is a pressure of 1 atm. But definitely, if I change this pressure, you know that this boiling temperature change, so then condition will definitely change. But if I'm taking 1 atm as a constant here, so then it's mean the liquid which is available at below 100 degrees C and up to then like 1 degree C, because at 0 again it will solidify, its phase will change. So from this 1 to 99, it is like subcooled liquid. So now if you just raise its temperature to the 100 degrees C, so what happens at 100? I think you have studied this in thermodynamics. Then two phases exist. So what does that mean? Two phases. One phase
So
is liquid and other
saturated.
is vapor. Yes, good. Saturated liquid and saturated vapor will exist. Saturation, this is available now at its saturation condition, and anything which is in the liquid phase at saturation condition, that is called saturated liquid, and all those vapor which are just formed at 100 degrees C at this 1 atm, they are called saturated vapor. So as I said here, mention for you that liquid or vapor which is available at saturation conditions, and in this case which I am talking about is the boiling condition. So saturated vapor or saturated liquid, for in this case of water, they will be available at 1 atm and 100 degrees C, because at 100 degrees C if you keep on heating this water, it will start boiling, and all those vapor which are just formed, they are called saturated vapor, and this liquid is called saturated vapor. So now all those vapor which are just formed, can I take them away from this and can I heat them further? For example,
सुपरहीटेड के लिए.
if you, yes, good. So if you just for example, you take this simple which was this one, kettle. In this, you know that vapor are formed. If I just put here or connect here, sorry, one pipe with these vapors from where they are coming out of this equipment, so I just transfer those vapor to some other place by maintaining their temperature initially at 100, and later when I just transfer them to some other place, I start heating them up. So now they are already in the vapor phase, they are available at 100 degrees C and 1 atm. So when I will start heating them further, so what will happen? Will their temperature increase or not?
No, sir.
There were vapors, they were available already at 100 degrees C. So now any addition of heat to those vapor will increase their temperature, and then they are converted to, we call them superheated vapor. Guys, why someone is saying no? Because just you see, initially water was at for example 25 degrees C. If I add the heat, what happens? Its temperature start rising, and when it reaches to the 100, then phase change takes place. So when phase change has taken place, this liquid is converted to the vapors. Now those vapor can be further heated, and when we further heat those vapors, they are converted to superheated. Now any vapor which is away or available at above saturation conditions, that is called superheated vapor. So when you call this superheated steam, actually that is away from its saturation conditions. Let me give you the example. For example, I told you that here these vapor were formed at 1 degree C and 1 atm and 100 degrees C. Vapors are formed at 1 atm and 100 degrees C. And if I tell you that later on I took those vapors away and I increased their temperature to 110 degrees C and my surrounding pressure is 1 atm. Now, can I call them superheated or still they are saturated? Anyone can answer? I said you took the vapors, they were available at 100 degrees C, you further heat them up and raise their temperature to 110 degrees C. So either they are now superheated vapor or saturated vapors.
सुपरहीटेड.
Anyone else can answer?
सर प्रेशर क्या सेम ही है?
मैंने वो कहा है ना, जो प्रेशर आप 1 atm ही रखते हो अभी एट द मोमेंट. यस
सर टी सेट से तो ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर कर रहे हैं ना?
टी सेट से ज्यादा है. यस प्रेशर,
तो
बट
सर
मैं 1 atm ही रख रहा हूँ. सुपर हीटेड होंगे, आप ठीक कह रही हो. मैं किसी और से भी पूछना चाह रहा हूँ कि बाकी भी 43 लोग हैं क्लास में एट द मोमेंट. राइट. Okay, I think I should take one quiz for you guys from this lecture tomorrow. Which time you guys are free?
सर कल और परसों तो प्रेजेंटेशन है.
सारा दिन तो नहीं है ना, रात को तो फ्री हो गई इवनिंग में.
सर अगले वीक करना है, मिड्स के लिए भी पढ़ना है.
नहीं, मैंने आज के लेक्चर से एक्चुअली क्विज लेना है. क्विक क्विज फॉर 5 मिनट्स. जी
एमसीक्यू बेस सर.
वो मेरी मर्जी है, बाद में देखता हूँ. आप लोग तो लेक्चर ले रहे हो ना, यू डोंट नीड टू वरी, एटलीस्ट 3-4 who are just speaking. बाकियों के लिए पूछ रहा हूँ. अब्दुल्ला, Tala, are you here? Can you tell me about timetable for tomorrow? ओके कि मिसुदा या सना आप बताओ कल किस टाइम प्रेजेंटेशन, एग्जैक्टली टाइम बताओ जरा.
सर
सर
कल 3
प्रेजेंटेशन
कोई एक बोले ना जवाब. जी सना बोलो.
सर कल सुबह लेक्चर स्टार्ट होना है 9:30 बजे से लेकर 11 बजे तक होना है, और फिर हमारे 2 से 3 लेक्चर होना है, फिर 3 से 4 लेक्चर होना है.
हाँ बस 11:30 बजे लेक्चर खत्म हुआ ना, उसके बाद 2 बजे है, तो बीच में टाइम है. ठीक है. I think CRs are not here, so I will just inform the CR. Okay, so let's come back here. So all those who are not attending, maybe just let them know. Recording I think I will upload, so quickly go through this to attempt it. So like I think it's clear to you, but I will just quickly repeat it. Subcooled liquid is the liquid which is available at conditions below saturation condition, and then like that saturation condition here is 1 atm and 100 degrees C. And saturated liquid or saturated vapor are those which are available at like saturation conditions, exactly at saturation condition. So that is 1 atm and 100 degrees C at the moment for water. So that we also call it boiling condition. And then there is a superheated vapor, so which are vapor available at above saturation condition, we call them superheated vapor. So guys, these means based on this still also we divide the steam into two types majorly: saturated steam and superheated steam. This simple term, if I call it like saturated or superheated vapor, I can use it for any component. But if I'm just specifically talking about water, so for water, you know that water vapor, we call them steam. I think you already know. So this, if I will say saturated vapors of water, that means same thing, saturated steam. And if it is superheated vapors of water, so it is like superheated steam. Okay. So mean in the steam table, you know that steam table are actually tabular data of various properties of steam. So we have here in this book, which is the reference book for you, I think, or otherwise you have, I think, this book. So Elementary Principles of Chemical Process, in its 4th edition, we have these table P5 to B7 in the appendix B, and at page 46, 42 somehow this these tables actually start from saturated and superheated. So okay, let me quickly show you these, and I think saturated steam tables. So saturated steam means the steam which is just formed, which is at saturation conditions. So here in this book, guys, I think already you know about steam table. So did you see steam table in this book or any other book you have seen? I think in thermo book it is somehow similar one. So can anyone read here what is mentioned at the top?
स्पेसिफिक वॉल्यूम
Yeah,
और
okay.
स्पेसिफिक इंटरनल एनर्जी.
But before that, if you just read its title, like here it is mentioned, like caption of table, properties of saturated steam or temperature table. This is one table in which you can see here, if you look at the temperature scale, first column. In this temperature scale, you guys can see that temperature is just increasing with some specific interval of 2, like 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Okay. So this is about this saturation condition, and with this pressure temperature, always there is a saturation pressure given, that what will be the like saturation pressure at that condition, and then specific volume of water as well as steam is given. Then because this is saturation condition, so you know that at saturation water can exist or any liquid can exist in the form of liquid as well as in the vapor. So due to this reason, he has provided the properties of both. So overall this table goes up to, for example, if you just look at this, when there is a temperature of 100, so you know that at this temperature of 100, when water boils at 100, when surrounding pressure is 1 atm, and in bar it is 1.01. So you can look at these, that if it will be water, what will be its like specific volume, and if it is steam, what is its specific volume, as well as internal energy and enthalpy. You can read it from here. The second table which is provided here is properties of saturated steam. So for example, this is mentioned as a pressure table. So when you look at this, Just look at the pressure values, and they are just increasing with some specific interval. So both will be giving you definitely the same values, just this is different representation of the data. Like here, if you, for example, select one value of pressure and temperature and look the value from this table, as well as if you go back to the other table, the value will be same. This is just different representation of the data. So these are about saturated. And then there is one table for superheated steam. So for superheated steam, that's given here, but for superheated, actually it depends on both temperature and pressure and a bit complex. So I will definitely start next lecture from here. I will quickly tell you guys that how you can read that table, because many people are not here, and I just don't want to tell that many people will miss it again and will create trouble later on. So, but at least I think you can easily read this saturated steam table. If I give you the temperature, pressure, for example, in the last question which you just solved, there was some water steam which was available at 30 degrees C. Did you remember in the last just question which you solved? So at 30 degrees C, if you want to look for the value of enthalpy, you can see here that water enthalpy, like it is given here 125.7. And maybe you guys have, you remember this same value was there for water. So I can just quickly look from this table. As well, if water was available at 65, he said, so here it is for 64 and 66. So at the moment, it is very easy, just you can take average or you can interpolate. And I will also explain this interpolation, I think, in next lecture if you don't know. So you can just interpolate, and your value was actually in between these two values, that was something 271. So that same can be used as well. There was steam, he said, that is available at 17 bar. Now in that case, instead of looking at this temperature table, just go to the pressure table. And in pressure table, you can locate 17 bar somewhere here. Let me see, where was it? Pressure table. Yes, pressure is increasing. Yes, here we can see, like you guys can see, I think it is 17 bar pressure steam here. And for this, he mentioned there that saturation temperature is 204. So here you can confirm it is 204, and then you can find the value of enthalpy which was used in the question. Understand it? If any question here quickly on this, just let me know, please.
No question.
Yes, later on you guys can, for example, you can be provided with some condition, and if I ask you to find some value from steam table, so you can quickly find it. Here are some questions related to saturated steam, so we'll start it from here next time, and I will tell you. Okay, so thank you so much. If you have any question, just let me know.
सर जो कल का क्विज है वो सिर्फ आज के लेक्चर में से आएगा ना?
जी